The protests triggered after Mahsa Amini's death in Iran has become the biggest show of opposition for Iran's clerical authorities. For more than 2 weeks, protests have spread around Iran, with women leading the way. They have been battling for their fundamental rights and calling for the ban on the headscarf. However, their conflict did not only start now. Rana rahimpour of the BBC has retrieved old footage from Iran after the 1979 revolution, which evinces a startling resemblance between the country's streets then and the scenes in many of its towns now. In 1979, when wearing hijab in public and offices was made law, many women came out to protest against it while chanting Azadi, which means freedom. Later order was restored by mullahs through guns and oppression. The supreme leader Ali Khamenei has finally spoken on the death of Mahsa Amini and calling it an unfortunate and heartbreaking incident. He went on by calling the protests riots perpetrated by United States and Israel to weaken the Islamic State of Iran.
این حادثه‌ای که پیش آمد دختر جوانی درگذشت، خب حادثه تلخی بود، دل ما هم سوخت. بنده به صراحت میگم این برنامه‌ریزی کار آمریکا، کار رژیم غاصب و جعلی صهیونیستی و دنبال روای اونهاست. نشستن برنامه‌ریزی کردن.
The protests that began in Iran were symbolized by images of women taking off their headscarves and cutting their hair. By having her hair cut off in front of the entire chamber, Abi al-Solani, a Swedish Euro MP, joined the movement in support of Iranian women. She urged the European Union to take action against Tehran.
Our fury will be bigger than the oppressors. Until the women of Iran are free, we are going to stand with you. Jian, Azadi, women, life, freedom.
Marion Cotillard, a French actress who won an Oscar, and Juliette Binoche took action to support the hundreds of demonstrators who boldly took to the streets of Iran in protests. The most recent protest wave in Iran seems more cohesive and determined, raising the possibility that it could be the beginning of a much larger movement. Although the assault on Mahsa Amini gave rise to the protests, it is crucial to highlight that the current protests in Iran transcend beyond opposition to the morality police and the compulsory hijab law. Instead, calls for a change in the government have quickly emerged from the rhetoric. Most crucially, people in areas like Qom and Mashhad, long seen as the ideological and political pillars of the Iranian regime, are denouncing the regime with their fellow citizens. Along protesters yelling down with the Islamic regime, women, life, and liberty, they are also setting fire to photos of the late IRGC General Qasim Soleimani and the Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei. During a protest, a young woman was seen chanting, "We stand united now or we die one by one."